Let me ask you something honest. When you make popcorn, do you think of it as junk food or a light snack? Most seniors see popcorn as harmless. It's not candy. It's not chips. It's just corn, right? Something to enjoy during the evening news or a movie with the grandkids. And that belief makes sense. But here's the truth no one really explains. After age 55, popcorn doesn't affect your body the same way it used to. Not because popcorn magically changed, but because your body did. As we age, our kidneys, liver, and blood vessels become more sensitive. They still work, but they don't bounce back as fast. That matters because popcorn, especially microwave popcorn, quietly hits the exact systems seniors are already trying to protect. Let's start with sodium. Sodium is sneaky. It doesn't make you feel full. It doesn't always taste overly salty, but it tells your body to hold on to water. More fluid means more pressure in your blood vessels, and more pressure means your heart has to work harder. For seniors managing blood pressure, that's not a small issue. Organizations like the American Heart Association warn that excess sodium raises the risk of heart attack, stroke, and kidney damage, especially in older adults. And popcorn is one of those foods where sodium adds up fast because most people eat the entire bag, not a measured serving. Now add medications to the picture: blood pressure pills, cholesterol medications, diabetes drugs. These are carefully balanced by your doctor. But when you eat a high sodium snack, you're unknowingly creating a tug of war inside your body. Your medication works to lower pressure. The snack pushes it back up. You don't feel that battle happening, but your heart does. Then there's fat. Many popcorn brands use palm oil or artificial butter flavorings loaded with saturated fat. Saturated fat raises LDL cholesterol, the kind that clogs arteries over time. For seniors with a family history of heart disease, this is especially concerning. And now we come to the part almost no one talks about: the bag itself. Microwave popcorn bags are often coated with chemicals to keep grease from soaking through. Some of these chemicals don't break down easily. They can migrate into the popcorn while it's popping, especially under high heat. Your liver and kidneys are responsible for dealing with these compounds. But after 55, those organs are already working harder, processing medications, supplements, and everyday toxins. So when popcorn adds another burden, the system gets overwhelmed quietly, without obvious warning signs. This is why something that feels like just a snack can slowly work against your health goals. And here's the key point: this isn't about never enjoying popcorn again. It's about knowing which popcorn helps you relax and which popcorn quietly works against your heart, kidneys, and medications. Before we move on, let me ask you: do you usually eat the whole bag when you make popcorn? Or do you stop halfway? Be honest. Most of us finish it. Drop your answer in the comments, because next we're starting the countdown. And the first brand on this list is one almost everyone trusts. Number 9, Orville Redenbacher's Ultimate Butter, when trust turns risky. Let's start with a name that feels like home: Orville Redenbacher's. That bow tie, that friendly face. For decades, this brand stood for quality. Many seniors grew up believing Orville Redenbacher popcorn was the better choice, the gourmet option compared to everything else. But here's what matters today, not decades ago. One bag of Ultimate Butter can quietly deliver well over 1,000 milligrams of sodium if you eat the whole thing, and most people do. That's close to an entire day's sodium limit in a single snack. For seniors managing blood pressure, that's not a treat. That's a stress test for your heart. Here's what sodium does inside your body: it tells your system to hold onto water. More water means more blood volume. More blood volume means higher pressure. Your heart works harder, your arteries feel the strain. If you're on medications like ACE inhibitors or beta blockers, that popcorn is pushing in the opposite direction of your treatment. And sodium isn't the only concern. Ultimate Butter also delivers a heavy hit of saturated fat, much of it from palm oil. Saturated fat raises LDL cholesterol, the kind that builds plaque in arteries over time. For seniors already watching cholesterol numbers, this matters. It's cumulative. One bag here, another there, and suddenly lab results don't look so good. There's also the ingredient deception problem. Over the years, the company behind Orville Redenbacher has faced legal challenges over natural labeling that wasn't as natural as it sounded. Ingredients like mixed tocopherols extracted using chemical solvents may be allowed, but they're not what most people imagine when they read natural. And then there's the butter aroma. For years, that unmistakable buttery smell in microwave popcorn came from flavoring chemicals that later became infamous for causing severe lung damage in factory workers, a condition nicknamed popcorn lung. While manufacturers claim they removed the original chemical, they are not required to disclose what replaced it. So ask yourself this: if the replacement were completely harmless, wouldn't they proudly tell you? This isn't about nostalgia. It's about what's actually in the bag now. If Orville Redenbacher is your go-to movie snack, stay with me because number 8 reveals a danger that doesn't come from the popcorn at all. 8. Act 2. Extreme butter, the budget snack with a heavy price. Next up is Act 2, specifically extreme butter. Act 2 positions itself as affordable, family-friendly, often on sale. For seniors watching grocery budgets, it feels like a smart financial choice. But this is where cheap becomes expensive in ways that don't show up at checkout. Yes, the sodium and saturated fat numbers are already concerning, but the real problem isn't listed on the nutrition label. It's the bag. Independent testing by international research groups found that every Act 2 microwave popcorn bag tested contained PFAS chemicals. PFAS are often called forever chemicals because they do not break down in your body or the environment. Once they enter your system, they stay there. Why are they used? To keep grease from soaking through the bag? That shiny, clean-looking bag? It's coated with chemicals designed to repel oil, and those chemicals can migrate into the popcorn during heating. Studies have linked PFAS exposure to high blood pressure, liver damage, thyroid disease, kidney stress, immune system suppression. For seniors, this is especially serious. Your kidneys already work harder as you age, filtering medications and waste. PFAS add another load, one your body can't easily eliminate. The same goes for your liver, which processes both medications and toxins. What makes this feel like a betrayal is timing. The company behind Act 2 acknowledged removing PFAS from packaging in recent years. That raises an obvious question. If the chemicals were safe, why remove them at all? And what replaced them? You're not required to be told, so when you open that bag today, it looks the same. It smells the same. It pops the same. But the uncertainty remains. This isn't fear-mongering, it's transparency. If you've ever thought, it's just popcorn, how bad could it be? You're not alone. Most people never suspect the packaging itself. Quick question before we continue. Do you usually buy popcorn based on price or brand name? Tell me in the comments. Your answer might help someone else make a safer choice. Up next is a brand that promises the movie theater experience at home, but delivers something far more dangerous. Number 7. Pop Secret Movie Theater. Butter, a sodium shock to the system. Let's talk about that classic movie night smell. When you hear Pop Secret, you think nostalgia, movie theaters, Friday nights, a bowl of popcorn in your lap while the previews roll. But here's what most people never stop to calculate. One entire bag of Pop Secret movie theater butter can deliver around 950 milligrams of sodium. That's nearly half of the absolute maximum daily sodium limit, and well over half if your doctor has recommended a low sodium diet. And let's be honest, most of us don't eat one serving. We eat the whole bag. For seniors managing blood pressure, this is a serious problem. Excess sodium pulls water into your bloodstream. That extra fluid raises blood pressure and forces your heart to work harder. Over time, this contributes to artery damage, stroke risk, kidney stress, and heart failure. Cardiology research has shown that high sodium intake doesn't just affect the heart, it affects the brain, kidneys, and blood vessels from head to toe. The damage is cumulative. Each salty snack adds to the total burden. Then there's the fat. Pop Secret Movie Theater butter delivers double-digit grams of saturated fat per bag. Saturated fat raises LDL cholesterol, the kind that forms plaque inside arteries. For seniors on statins or with a family history of heart disease, this is not a small indulgence. It's a repeated hit to cardiovascular health. But there's another red flag many people recognize subconsciously, that sharp chemical undertone you smell when the popcorn finishes popping. For years, that smell came from flavoring chemicals later linked to severe lung damage in factory workers, a condition known as popcorn lung. While companies say the original compound was removed, they are not required to disclose what replaced it. So you're left guessing. Pop Secret isn't dangerous because it's obvious. It's dangerous because it feels normal. A snack you eat without thinking. A habit you repeat week after week. And for seniors, it quietly pushes blood pressure and cholesterol in the wrong direction. Now let's move to a brand that markets itself as family-friendly and wholesome, but hides problems behind a cheerful image. Jolly Time. Big cheese. Family brand chemical reality? At first glance, Jolly Time looks harmless. Bright packaging, smiling families. A brand that's been around for over a century. It feels safe, familiar, trustworthy. But the big cheese variety tells a different story. Let's start with the basics. This popcorn combines palm oil, artificial cheese flavors, added colors, and a sodium-fat combination designed to make you keep eating. One serving doesn't look terrible on paper, but again, most people eat far more than one serving. Palm oil is a key concern here. It's high in saturated fat, and has been shown to raise LDL cholesterol more aggressively than many other vegetable oils. For seniors watching cholesterol numbers, this matters. Then there are the additives. Artificial colors and cheese flavorings don't nourish your body. They exist to create visual appeal and trigger cravings. Your liver has to process these compounds. Your kidneys have to filter the byproducts. And after 55, those systems don't bounce back as quickly. But here's where things become truly troubling. Independent testing found PFAS chemicals, often called forever chemicals, in Jolly Time microwave popcorn bags. These chemicals are used to make packaging grease resistant. Once they enter your body, they don't leave easily. Studies have linked PFAS exposure to high blood pressure, liver damage, thyroid dysfunction, kidney stress. For seniors already managing medications and chronic conditions, this is an added burden your body never asked for. The family-friendly image creates a false sense of safety. Smiling faces on a box don't cancel out chemistry. If you've been choosing Jolly Time because it feels traditional or wholesome, you deserve to know what's actually happening behind that packaging. Before we continue, let me ask you something. When you buy popcorn, do you check sodium or just grab what sounds tasty? Drop your answer in the comments. Because next, we're staying with Jolly Time and exposing a label trick that misleads millions of shoppers. Jolly Time. Blasto butter, the non-GMO label that misleads. Let's stay with Jolly Time, because Blasto butter doubles down on everything seniors should be cautious about. The name alone promises indulgence. More butter, more flavor, more fun. And right on the box, you'll often see non-GMO. That sounds reassuring, especially if you're trying to eat cleaner. Here's the uncomfortable truth. There is no such thing as GMO popcorn on the market. It doesn't exist. So when a brand highlights non-GMO on popcorn, it isn't telling you something special. It's using a technical truth to create a false sense of health. That label doesn't make the popcorn safer, just makes it easier to sell. Now let's talk about what's actually inside the bag. Blast O butter stacks palm oil with added butter flavor, driving saturated fat higher. On paper, one serving already takes a big bite out of your daily saturated fat limit. In reality, most people eat 2 or 3 servings without thinking. For seniors on cholesterol medication, this matters. Saturated fat raises LDL cholesterol, the kind that contributes to plaque buildup and narrowed arteries. Over time, that increases the risk of heart attack and stroke. Then there's the ingredient loophole, natural flavors. That phrase sounds safe. It sounds better than artificial. But under US regulations, natural flavors can be made up of hundreds of different compounds, and companies are not required to tell you which ones. The word natural tells you almost nothing about what you're actually consuming. Why does that matter after 55? Because your liver and kidneys are already processing medications, supplements, and everyday toxins. Every unnecessary additive adds to that workload. Small stresses accumulate, and the effects show up slowly. Changes in lab results, blood pressure, or how your body responds to medicine. So with Blasto butter, you're getting misleading health labeling, high saturated fat, vague flavor chemistry, and the same packaging concerns we discussed earlier. It feels like a treat, but it behaves like a burden. Smart food movie theater. Butter, when smart isn't honest. When you see the word smart on food, your guard drops a little. That's exactly what smart food is counting on. Smart food movie theater butter is positioned as the better option. Cleaner, more responsible. The packaging often claims no artificial flavors and no artificial preservatives. For seniors reading labels carefully, that feels like a safe green light. But here's where trust breaks. Recent legal action has accused Smart Food and its parent company of false advertising, claiming the products contain artificial ingredients despite labels suggesting otherwise. That matters because seniors rely on labels to manage real medical needs. If your doctor says, watch sodium, avoid artificial additives, protect your heart and kidneys, you trust labels to tell the truth. On the nutrition side, Smart Food movie theater butter still delivers elevated sodium and saturated fat, much of it from palm and vegetable oils. One serving might not look extreme, but again, the bag doesn't behave like one serving. Then there's the same familiar mystery: natural flavors, clean words, unclear meaning, no disclosure. For seniors on low sodium diets or managing heart conditions, that lack of transparency is dangerous. You can't make informed choices if information is incomplete or misleading. This is what makes smart food particularly frustrating. It's not obviously unhealthy. It looks like the responsible choice, and that's exactly why people keep buying it. But smart branding doesn't guarantee smart formulation. Before we move on, I want to hear from you. Have you ever chosen a snack because the label sounded healthier, only to find out later it wasn't? Drop your experience in the comments. It helps others learn faster. Up next, we're exposing a behind the scenes supplier most people have never heard of and why that matters for seniors. 3. Pop Weaver, the brand behind the curtain. Most people have never heard of Pop Weaver, and that's exactly the problem. Pop Weaver is one of the largest popcorn suppliers in the country. They make popcorn for movie theaters, stadiums, fairs, and even store brand microwave popcorn. So even if you've never bought a box with their name on it, there's a good chance you've eaten their popcorn. Why should seniors care? Because independent investigations found PFAS chemicals, often called forever chemicals, in microwave popcorn packaging across the industry, including products linked to Pop Weaver supply chains. Some of these chemicals can break down inside your body into even longer lasting compounds, meaning exposure doesn't fade, it adds up. For seniors, PFAS exposure is especially concerning because kidneys clear toxins more slowly with age. Many seniors take multiple medications processed by the kidneys. PFAS have been linked to kidney stress, liver damage, and thyroid disruption. Here's what makes this unfair. You don't get a warning. You don't get a choice. The bag looks normal, the popcorn tastes familiar, and the chemicals are invisible. Pop Weaver eventually committed to changes, but only after years of exposure and public pressure. By then, millions of people had already been affected. Now let's talk about the budget option many seniors rely on. Number 2, great value butter lovers, cheap at checkout, costly later. Great value is Walmart's store brand. It's everywhere, it's affordable. And for seniors on fixed incomes, it feels practical. But here's the trade-off. Store brands often compete on price, not transparency. Their butter-flavored popcorn typically matches national brands for high sodium and saturated fat while using longer ingredient lists and less scrutinized packaging. Why does that matter? Big national brands face constant scrutiny, from watchdogs, journalists, and lawsuits. Store brands often fly under the radar, fewer tests, fewer headlines, less pressure to improve. So while you might save $1 at the store, the hidden cost can show up later. Higher blood pressure readings, more medication adjustments, extra strain on heart and kidneys. Ask yourself this. If a cheap snack nudges your health in the wrong direction, did you really save anything? Save. And now we've reached the worst offender, the one that combines everything we've talked about into a single bag. Section 9. Number 1, Act 2. Butter lovers, the perfect storm for seniors. We're ending where we began because Act 2. Butter lovers represents everything that's wrong with microwave popcorn for older adults. Let's break it down simply. A full bag can deliver very high sodium, enough to spike blood pressure, over half a day's saturated fat, PFAS exposure from grease-resistant packaging. That's not just one risk. That's a stack of risks working together. For seniors on blood pressure medication, cholesterol drugs, or managing kidney disease, this creates a silent tug of war. Your doctor prescribes meds to protect your heart. The popcorn pushes in the opposite direction. And then there's the addiction factor. Food scientists engineer these products to hit the bliss point, the perfect mix of salt, fat, and flavor that makes you keep eating. This isn't about willpower. It's about design. The industry knows exactly what it's doing. There's also history we can't ignore. A consumer, not a factory worker, won a major lawsuit after developing popcorn lung from eating microwave popcorn daily. That case shattered the myth that consumers weren't at risk from flavoring chemicals. Companies changed some ingredients after public outcry, but they're not required to tell you what replaced them. So when you open that bag and smell that buttery aroma, ask yourself, what's actually creating that smell? This is why Act 2 Butter Lovers sits at the top of the avoid list. It isn't one bad ingredient. It's the combination: sodium, saturated fat, packaging chemicals, and engineered overeating, all aimed at a body that's already working harder with age. Before we move on to the safe options, I want to hear from you. Which popcorn brand have you been buying? And did any of this surprise you? Drop it in the comments. Your experience helps others make safer choices. Up next, I'll show you the 2 popcorn options seniors can actually enjoy with confidence, and how to take back control of movie night without risking your health. All right, let's take a breath together. After everything we've covered, this is the part that matters most. Because the goal isn't to scare you away from popcorn forever. The goal is to help you enjoy it without quietly working against your heart, kidneys, or medications. The good news? Yes, safe popcorn does exist. You just have to know where to look. Safe option number 1, Skinny Pop C. Salt microwave popcorn. Let's start with a brand that keeps things refreshingly simple: Skinny Pop. Skinny Pop stands out for one major reason: transparency. Instead of hiding behind vague terms like natural flavors, Skinny Pop lists ingredients you can actually understand: popcorn, oil, sea salt. That's it. No artificial butter flavoring, no mystery additives, no chemical smelling aroma filling your kitchen. Just as important for seniors, Skinny Pop has publicly committed to PFAS-free packaging. That means you're not dealing with grease-resistant chemical coatings leaching into your snack while it pops. From a nutrition standpoint, this matters too. Compared to the brands we talked about earlier, Skinny Pop delivers lower sodium, much less saturated fat, fewer ingredients overall. For seniors managing blood pressure or cholesterol, those differences add up over time. Registered dietitians often recommend Skinny Pop as one of the cleaner microwave popcorn options because it avoids the biggest red flags: heavy sodium, artificial flavors, and questionable packaging. Is it as intensely buttery as movie theater popcorn? No, but that's actually the point. You taste the corn, not chemicals. Safe option number two: 365 by Whole Foods Market Organic. No oil, no salt. Now, if you want the cleanest possible option, this one sets the standard. 365 by Whole Foods Market. Organic microwave popcorn contains one ingredient: organic popcorn. That's it. No oil, no salt, no additives, no flavoring chemicals. For seniors on strict low sodium diets, kidney friendly diets, or anyone whose doctor has said every milligram matters, this option is a game changer. One serving contains almost no sodium, zero saturated fat, no artificial anything, and because it's organic, the corn is grown without synthetic pesticides. Another win for seniors trying to reduce overall chemical exposure. Now, let's be honest. Does it taste like movie theater popcorn right out of the bag? No, and it's not supposed to. But here's the beauty of starting clean: you control what goes on it. A small, measured amount of real butter, a light sprinkle of salt, nutritional yeast for a cheesy flavor without artificial cheese powders, herbs or spices you enjoy. Instead of a corporation deciding how much salt and fat you consume, you decide. That's real control. The takeaway: this is the part to remember: popcorn isn't the enemy. Hidden chemicals, excess sodium, and engineered additives are. When you choose short ingredient lists, PFAS free packaging, lower sodium and saturated fat, you can enjoy movie night without stressing your heart, kidneys, or medications. Before we wrap up, let me ask you, which of these two options sounds more like something you'd try: Skinny Pop or the 365 organic popcorn? Tell me in the comments. I read them all, and your answers help others make better choices too. And if this kind of honest, senior-focused guidance helps you shop smarter, make sure you're subscribed, because there's a lot more your grocery store isn't telling you.